Spring has arrived, the sun is shining, the blossom is blooming, and the sky is blue, for today at least. We're still getting above average rainfall and cool weather, so I need to take advantage of our one sunny day. The vegetables and herb seedlings are slowly growing in the glass house. There are still no eggplants up, but the squash, pumpkin and zucchini are all doing well. It's still a little bit early to be direct sowing anything into the vegetable garden. Inside on the heat mat I have 3 different varieties of chilies, which I'll eventually pot up and keep in terracotta pots over the summer. The tomato plants that I repotted the other day are doing really well. They've settled into their new pots. Twice a year in the small vegetable garden, there are tough decisions to be made. Room needs to be made for the next season's seeds and seedlings to go in when they're big enough. There's a bit of space, and removing the weeds and pruning the herbs will help. The silver beet, spring onions and garlic will have to stay because they're still growing. As the garden beds empty, compost is put on them. My compost has plenty of duck and chicken manure in it as part of the compost making process. Along with all the vegetable scraps and fire ash, eggshells, coffee grounds, hair, leaves. There's so much that gets added into it, so there's plenty of nutrition, microorganisms and worms in there. And that all adds benefits to my vegetable garden. And when the turnips and kale is harvested, I will add compost to those beds. My garden is always done in sections, depending on the plants growing at the time. This year I'm trying out these potato grow bags. I usually use a 44-gallon drum for my spuds, but I've planted my old yucca in one, and my other 44-gallon drum will have the mint planted in it to keep it out of reach from the ducks. I'm interested to see how these go. They're not very big, but at least I can move them if I need to. I'm not overly impressed that they're probably made of polyethylene. I know you shouldn't grow potatoes in car tyres. It seems practical in theory, but tyres leach out chemicals into your potatoes, like lead and other rubbish that causes cancer and other illnesses, so I definitely wouldn't be using them. I haven't decided where I can put the potatoes for the summer yet. I need to keep them away from the dogs, the ducks and the chickens, but they'll need light and access to water. For now, they can sit in the vegetable garden until I decide. Many of the girls are laying eggs every day now. It's a joy to collect them. I'm not sure if we'll be having ducklings this year. Due to the fact that I can't get straw and it's been so wet and muddy, I'm just not sure if it's really suitable to have babies. We'll see how we go once the sun actually comes out and dries out all the mud. It is exciting to have enough eggs in the larder pantry to create as many egg dishes that I could possibly want to make in a day. I've been dehydrating pears overnight. I was in a bit of a hurry yesterday, so I left the skins on, so they're going to take a little bit longer than usual, but they'll still be delicious. I grew 10 metres of Jerusalem artichokes last summer and I'm still harvesting them. I find that they're easy to grow, harvest and prepare for cooking as you don't have to peel them. The only time-consuming part is washing them thoroughly. You have to scrub them with a brush to get into all the nooks and crannies. I have a lot more still to harvest in the next week before they start sprouting, so I'll be making plenty of batches of soup for the freezer. I love growing citrus trees. Not only do they have delicious and useful fruit, the fruit stays on the trees so you can harvest it over many months. Mint is a prolific grower. It likes plenty of water too, so growing it in pots next to the water tank is perfect. I just need to repot it into a 44-gallon drum to keep it out of reach from the ducks. I always love cut flowers in the house. The aurum lilies are loving the unusual wet weather that we've been having. They are so tall this year and they've only just started flowering. Not all of my plants have liked the wet conditions, but some are thriving. Over the winter, I drink a lot of hot citrus water with honey. And as the seasons change, I transition into lemon and mint cordial sweetened with honey. In a mason jar, I have the hot water and I dissolve the honey into that. Then I squeeze the lemon in. And in the other bottle, I have cold water. The water's been filtered and then I'll add it all together, including the mint. And it's ready when it's been chilled in the fridge. It's such a refreshing drink. It makes drinking water more enjoyable, and it's from food from my own garden, which makes it even better in my opinion. The pears have finished dehydrating, so I've put them in airtight containers and I'm labelling them. And then I'll find some room to store them on the shelf. There are numerous little jobs that need doing each day on the homestead, whether it's storing away your freshly dehydrated produce or shaking the brewing tinctures for their daily shake. These jobs just get done as part of the routine. It's raining again and it looks like winter has more to say for another week at least. So I'm cozying up inside and I've decided to make some garlic sauce in my blender. I have grapeseed oil, I add in salt, lemon juice. Like all my recipes, they're in the description below. And then I add garlic that's peeled. I harvested my garlic 9 months ago. I always grow hardneck varieties because they store longer, and I always choose varieties that do store a long time within that hardneck variety. It's important to me to have good storage as well as good flavour with my garlic. That way I can enjoy the garlic throughout the autumn, the winter and the spring. It gets blended for about 4 to 8 minutes depending on your blender, and it stores in the fridge for at least a week or two if you don't eat it before that. Every week I slow cook a decent piece of meat, so there's always meat in the fridge for lunches and snacks. Flatbread dough can also be kept in the fridge for a few days, wrapped in wax paper and stored in an airtight container. I like using the glass containers. If you're new to making bread, flatbread is a good bread to make because you don't have to wait for it to rise, and it's really good dough to roll out because it doesn't fall apart or crack. It's quite stretchy. So it's a really good beginner bread to make. You can use it straight away. You can start pulling off the sections and start rolling it out now. If I am wrapping it, I add a little bit of flour onto the dough and then wrap it up in the wax paper. I'm going to make a souvlaki with my flatbread and the garlic sauce. So I pull off some of the dough and I'll wrap the rest up straight away so it doesn't dry out. On a floured surface, I roll out the dough so that it's about 1/4 of an inch thick, and it will fit into the cast iron skillet. See how it holds together well and it's quite stretchy. I've got the cast iron pan heating up, and on the hot pan the dough goes. Once it bubbles up on one side, I turn it over and cook the other side. It doesn't take long at all. Slow cooked meat just falls apart. It's so wonderful. Whether it's rabbit, lamb, beef, deer, it doesn't matter. It all just falls apart beautifully. Add a little bit of cheese and the garlic sauce. And my souvlaki is done, served with my lemon mint cordial, which is so refreshing. If only the sun would come out. At least I had one day where the sun came out so I could film a video for you and show you what was happening at Moat Cottage Homesteading. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.